Hi, good evening. I represent a company called Scheffler, and we are having three different legal entities. And interestingly, as Kavita was talking about, we have a diverse range of products and services. And that's where the challenge of opportunity comes into the picture. So we do sell bearings, which is pretty much a commodity. At the same time, we actually also are associated with developing some very high-end products which goes to every automobile company which operates out of India. So when we look at the kind of culture which we want to create or the kind of driver we want to create for our employees, it varies from one side to operational excellence to one side is purely focused on innovations and really thinking out of the box. So that's what makes the job of the managers very interesting in our organizations because they need to really keep always ahead about how to keep our employees motivated and also take into consideration, this is one of the important point of performance management system, that how do we continue to discuss with our employees, how do we continue to have a qualitative discussion with these guys so that we can address their needs well in advance, because we truly believe that if our employees are really well motivated, then we can really actually be able to address the customer's needs and also value creation for the society. So that's what makes our job quite interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shantanu. So I think what I want to register at this stage is that there are four different contexts. I think Vimal's context is that it's not your imagination of value, but somewhere there is a supply chain or a value chain in the industry where one person consumes one person's output and then produces another output consumed by somebody else. Therefore, the concept of capturing value and measuring value becomes very central to him. I think Manjula really talked about a fabulous experience for the customer and everything else centered around it. I think that's the second. And Kavita really talked about a very ambitious scale and achieving that ambitious scale by becoming a consulting partner to their customers. I think that's the thing. And Shantanu talked about a very interesting problem. He has two different businesses with two different challenges. How do I address it with a single kind of solution is something that he is trying to look at. Now, having understood the four different kinds of contexts that they are each in, and I would just like to throw open this question, anybody can answer first, in terms of what are you seeking to do in the performance management system to be able to add value to the business? What are you seeking to do? What are you trying to do? What have you already done? What are you trying to do? Any one of you can start and say, how is your performance management system and its principles and its emphasis speaking to this business problem?
Okay, so thanks. We recently underwent slight changes in the performance appraisal system. It's up on various sites. And when I said speed and innovation in what is it that we are trying to solve, we realized that the existing bell curve system that has held us in pretty good stead in the past decade may not be the right approach going forward. So there were two changes to the appraisal system within the organization. And it's pretty similar to what others have done. We've not done away with the bell curve, so to speak, but we realized that the bell curve did have its disadvantages in today's economy, in today's culture that we are trying to build, and the stage in our evolution. When we looked at all of these three components, we realized that the bell curve of force-fitting people into certain percentages may not be the right approach, because we actually started having a lot of attrition based only on the fact that I am a certain rating. At the end of the year, my manager comes and tells me, "Mere liye to aap to star ho, but what to do? HR has this policy, and that's the reason I put you down." Those are the kind of exit interview comments that we received. And most importantly, we found that collaboration and teamwork in this particular, approach was not really being built, just to give you an example, when new employees come in, you give a buddy and you say, why don't you buddy with this employee going forward for the next 2 or 3 months? We found that this employee would not give information freely to everybody. He would say, you need to know this, and this you'll figure out. Because he himself has figured out, after a lot of pain. So there is this competitive spirit, and it is good to have competitive spirit, but not at the cost of collaboration. And collaboration actually leads to innovation. And we realize that if innovation is one of the issues that we are trying to instill in employees, this particular approach or model may not be the right one. So while we have maintained the top, the top raters have to be a certain percentage, we've also kept a range. Earlier, the GE model was so well copied by all of us that we said, if you are the best, it has to be only 20%. 22 bhi nahi ho sakta, 21 to forget. It has to be only 22%. But, we've kind of given a range, and we've said, this is the percentage that you can play around with. You need to have your justification. However, you're not pushed to the wall as a manager to force fit a person to a lower rating. Because usually as a manager, what would you do? You don't want to be bad. And as Indians, it's a culture that we don't want to call the person and say, you're going to be put on a performance improvement plan, what we call as a PIP. So that was the first change that we did. And the second change was a lot of manager, development programs that were introduced, because in the previous regime or the previous model, what happens? As a manager, I know that my rating will depend on how I perform. So if I have to perform very well, I will delegate work to the best of my performers. I will not even go to people who are, average, and I will have to lead them, and I will have to counsel them and coach them. I'll say, why should I go just subject? Why should I get into? I will just get into a meeting, call my best performers, tell them this has to be done immediately. Because the culture that we have now is the now culture. Even your clients are pushing you and saying you want creative solutions and concepts at the click of a button. So you have this meeting, and then you tell them speed is the key. If we have to win against a plethora of other people in competition who have raised the bid, and you are not training team members who are average. So what happens? In the organization, you have people who you have picked up based on their scores, based on a test. They all enter the organization. You don't share because you are worried about your own rating and the incentive payout and the various linkages that the rating is applied to. So we've changed it, and we said we will have to focus, because manager's role today is extremely critical. We've changed that, and we said we will train you how to coach people better. Just like as a parent, you coach your employees, and you coach your, your children. See, even children also I call employees. You coach your children. You don't wait till the end of the year saying, last year in this birthday party, you did not behave well. You don't do that. You coach him on a regular basis. So that is what we are trying to change, and culturally it is very difficult given the scale. Because all along managers would say, on this day he did very badly, on this day he did badly, on this day he spoke very well to the client. So you kind of keep a repository, and at the end of the year you share it with your team members. But that is what we said, if you are changing the system, it is not important to justify to the employee saying you've done badly and this is the reason for it. Rather turn around and have continuous conversations with the employees as coaches. So these are two changes that we brought about.
Excellent. Yeah. So creative solutions cannot happen under the sword, and where employees feel on trial every day. So there is an attempt to loosen it up and make sure that there is a conversation, collaboration, purpose, meaning engagement around those things rather than who did well compared to whom. I think that's the way the system has been changed to meet the business reality. Any other?
Yeah. Our industry is more dynamic because it's a startup, it's an upcoming industry, the challenges are wide. So our goals are not long-term goals. We believe in building short-term goals. These have been decided within the meetings at the senior management level. Then these goals are further being divided in different departments. So the respective head of the departments then takes the ownership of his own goal. And Our processes are very interconnected. In each of our processes, each of our department work is very interconnected. So everybody have to run with the same speed. There cannot be a bottleneck in any of these processes. So the sync to be maintained between the functions is very important. So that's the second challenge that we have. So the goals have been divided. Each of these managers will further ensure that their team members are being properly briefed, coached, as these goals are being assessed, whatever the goals have been given, there's a review meeting happening on a weekly basis, a fortnightly basis, trying to understand how well they have performed, what are the gaps, okay, what are the challenges they are facing. So the managers will have to have time to understand their problems, help them, in achieving, their results by motivating them, by coaching them, by being, as Kavita, she said, by being a parent to that, employee, so that he feels good about, when he achieves that goal. So, in specifically at our kind of industry, we have to be there, available for our people, so that they meet up with their goals within the time frame, and they are able to achieve it. And we cannot, wait for the year end to appraise them. We cannot do that, because the resources are very limited, and we have to ensure that we retain our resources thoroughly well, because they are very important and valuable for us. So training and coaching them is an important aspect that we create in them. We also build a sense of ownership within them about the work that they do. So they are being involved in most of the decision making. They're being involved in most of the goals that they set. So when at times we do not have to tell them that you have to do this job. They know when a KRA or a KPI has been given to them, they have to achieve it within the stipulated time. And that's the kind of culture we are being able to create, and I think much more to come in the coming years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manjula. I think they're really well articulated as to how the two are connected. So it's speed, therefore short-term goals, not long-term goals. And I heard us say just before we came here that they want to have a very tight control on the end customer experience. Therefore, they tend not to outsource. So they put a lot of departments inside. Therefore, the speed with which a change is cascaded is very well enabled. And performance management is at the service of the employee. So performance management question is, what can I do for you, rather than what did you do today against what you have said. So creating enablers, removing disablers, that's been the real focus of that's what the attempt is. Yes.
Yeah, I think the time now is the fundamentals of this entire process is being questioned. Where is it heading? Probably the answers will come because it has started being questioned right now. I don't think anybody has a clear answer. We all are talking about the bell curves getting completely washed away. Some are continuing. But all I can relate is, the businesses, the organizations, what used to be the capital, today has completely changed. The businesses which requires to be, valued were based on the capital of the organizations. Today, it's the data that has become the biggest capital. Uber is, in terms of valuation, is as equal as Ford. Where is it coming from? And that's where the fundamental questions are changing. And what I foresee, I'll talk about that in terms of the way, a big thanks to the e-commerce industry, the way they are talking about, and it's happening in B2B industry as well. And I'm quoting some of the examples here, which I recently got through with Ramcharan. We had a strategy meeting with him for us with Sterlite. The way every customer is being dealt uniquely, similar is going to come as far as the employees are concerned. There is no going to be the law of averages. Our policies, our processes, our systems have to be exclusively dealt with the individuals, and thanks to the algorithms, the speeds of the systems which are enabling this to happen. Times are not going to be far away that what is happening in the e-commerce or retail is also going to come shortly, even in a B2B space. So what I am foreseeing here is the fundamental questions of the way the employees are being reviewed, whether it's the time frame. Yes, the world is very dynamic. Every month, every quarter is getting so changed. The vision which used to be about 10 years has now validity of 3 years. You don't know what is going to happen. So much of destruction is happening across the industries. Something which was very valid 5 years back today is no reason for that existence of that business or that industry itself. That is the level of destruction that we need to be ready, and it is going to come, which I am foreseeing even in the way we do employees performance management.
Excellent. I think so. I think it's a very big realization for a very capital intensive company to realize that the source of value is the data you hold, the insights you hold, and therefore trying to individualize the strategy for not only customers but for employees. I think, Vimal, if you can towards the end try and imagine what would that mean for the performance management system. How would two employees in the same function have, what potentially could we imagine? I know it's not very easy to visualize it, but if I can request you to make an attempt towards the end of this session.
Sure.
Shantanu?
Well, I'll take a little different route. I think the area where I would just like to focus on is that when traditionally the performance management system was probably introduced, or in the past, one of the purpose was to improve the organizational capability. And one of the important ingredients to that is through individual growth. So the spirit was something like, you grow your companies, you grow your employees, and they in turn will grow actually your organizations. And in the process, I think probably you keep on raising the bar. And what I see today is that this is one area where there is a huge dilution. So the overall focus is only towards the performance goals, and probably not that much of focus. I would not say it's entirely gone, but not that much of focus on maybe a qualitative discussions or kind of career counseling or similar kind of stuff. I think one good thing which I would say that in this company where I work is different than many other companies earlier I worked and I am aware of. They have, and I've been actually following that for the last 5-6 years, it's a global template where they differentiate the whole process into two different discussions. One is called employee development dialogue, which is entirely different. I mean, it's probably done 5-6 months before the performance dialogue, which normally happens at the beginning of the year. And this EDD, the dialogues, has hardly any touch point on the performance because it normally happens in July-August time frame. You really cannot have any huge discussion on this topic. Maybe you have some inkling that what's coming. But the other overall focus is entirely on in terms of what's your interest, what company can do for you, what areas as a manager you see actually you should work on. So I would say that it's an excellent template and worth emulating, but at the same time it depends on what kind of qualitative discussions the manager is going to have with the employees. And from my experience I can only share with you is that maybe 20 to 25%, 25% is still also a higher number. 20% employees, they take personal interest in these discussions. And essentially I have seen that if I look at the populations, most of them are on high pods. So it clearly shows that who takes interest in their own career and who just takes it as a part of their regular mundane exercise. So in a way what happens is that the organization also puts the onus on the employee saying that, by the way, it's your career. So if you really want to take interest, then you have to really take it seriously and have some discussions with your manager, rather push your managers to have these discussions. And if you think that, okay, it's okay to focus on only the target agreement discussions, you have a choice. So essentially what I'm saying is that, yes, of course, data analytics will actually play an important role, but if you look at the generations which are coming up, they also shows these templates where they really need some right feedback. They also need to have some discussions about the purpose of what kind of jobs they are doing, and also certain very important parameters of the discussions, which is not typically related to the business performance, and which anyway is not going to dilute the importance of the business performance, because you are actually trying to drive the fundamentals of the organizations more forward looking. So that's one perspective I think we should not forget. That's from my side. Thank you.
Excellent departure, Shantanu. I think after all, what is the use of the performance management discussion if it is only for about assessment and business performance? Shouldn't it have some meaning for the individual? And is that not diluted, the coaching, the development? That leads me to an interesting question. So in all our appraisal forms, you will have multiple sections. There will be a section about goals and results. There will be a section about competencies, capabilities, behaviors, or the hows of doing that. And there may be a section or may not be a section about effort. There may be a section about how critical the individual is to the team. You may capture that. Though strictly you can call it talent management rather than performance management. You may have these multiple sections. So I just want a factual answer from all of you. So in your respective companies and contexts, so for the final rating, on which lots of goodies are dependent on, which section has higher weightage or sole weightage in the final decision? So what in the way it's practiced in your organization?
So when you say, performance to be measured, and I'm bringing the subject to, and more than that, the world is moving more and more towards pay for performance.
Right.
The pay for performance is going to go up, and therefore, what to measure and how to measure both becomes important. So before even going to how to measure, I think what to measure. So there are two aspects to it. One is the, how as an organization we have performed. A big portion of that drives, because ultimately it's an organization goal. Unless you are, making a goal in a basketball game, what's the fun of individuals making centuries in a cricket game?
Right.
So that's an individual win. I don't think that's any organization is in today's world promoting. So that's the organization and the team goals, giving them as a very good quantitative weightage in terms of putting. So that's the what part. And second part, when you said the individual's performance. So when you say individual's performance, it has different aspects. Fundamentally, it has the discipline things, the fundamental intelligence, how you deal and work with people. Those are the softer parts. The second part, of course, is what's the hard line in terms of the numbers. Where is it coming from? The goals that you are expected to achieve, and that brings to a concept of that. The frequency, is it annual, is it monthly? It varies from industry to industry, and probably the companies are trying, because the world is very dynamic, which I, in the beginning was pointing out. So it depends on organizations. The lead time today is going to keep on getting reduced. What has the most important weightage? I think yes, everyone wants, finally it's the numbers.
Understood.
But there is a decent weightage that organizations provide on, how the individual, when it's the managers and the leaders, how are they creating, the culture in the organization? How are they finding, they are creating leaders below them. As a manager, am I playing a role as a manager, and I'm still an individual contributor? Even if I would have achieved a goal and I have not created, the succession under me, and there is no coherence, he is not a manager. I'll rather put him in an individual contributor role. So definitely those aspects become very important and critical as well.
Thank you. So results, primary weightage, and if you are in the business of making other people productive, then what you do in terms of your values and behaviors have an important weightage. I think that's a fair answer. Angela?
Most of the points I'll agree with Vimal is that, one is to, we have to divide it into a team achievement, or, a team KPI and an individual. So when we want to assess the team as such, definitely what kind of contribution is coming from the team. and what is the individual contribution. If an individual perform, and that's how they put together will give will enable the team to achieve that particular goal within the time it's been within the time frame. So both need to be assessed in a different manner, because ultimately it's what the employee's satisfaction will count. Now, coming to the other point of building more leaders within your department or within your own domain is very important. I completely agree with Vimal on that, because that's how it's going to bring in a sense of ownership in each and every employee. Monetary is one part, but in terms of the job satisfaction, in terms of what I have done, what I have achieved, if he has that sense of ownership within him, for example, a small example, a delivery boy, if he knows customer experience is an important aspect for our business, it's a sunny day with 42-degree temperature, but then that for him, ensuring that delivery is being done within that particular time. So how we inculcate that kind of ownership in a delivery boy, wherein he ensures this has to be delivered before 1 o'clock and he does it. And I think that talks about it. In terms of the other part is concerned, what we are going to remunerate him, how we are going to pay, that's a secondary part that each and every organization decides, and how they have to go about it.